Hello, interpersonal communication, distance learners. This is Mr. Burke. I'm here to give you a overview of the course syllabus. You're not ever coming to class, so this is our first official class where you have a video to watch of me talking about the syllabus. So here I am inside Schoology. This is Schoology on a computer. You may be looking at it through an iPad, which is a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to be in our course information folder. Right here, inside of here, there's an about me, and then here's our syllabus. There's also some frequently asked questions and a place for you to ask a question if you have one. So here we go, interpersonal communication. What does that mean? What is interpersonal communication? How is that different from public speaking? Why are you taking that in 11th grade? Those are all questions that you could be asking. First of all, I'll bring you to the course and make my face smaller so you can see. So course description, here's my contact information. If you ever have a question, the best thing to do is send me an email. We'll be working on that later. Otherwise, here's a table of contents for the syllabus and in our course description. I'm going to try to zoom this in just a little bit so you can see. So this course is designed a semester-long course in addition to English 11, which you'll take the other semester, but it's emphasizing communication skills and interpersonal relationships, which is super hard because you're not going to be in class. But the good news is that you can take this information and bring it with you anywhere you go for the rest of your life. You're going to need to have relationships with other people. You're going to be able to have to communicate. My goal is to give you some strategies to help you develop a healthy attitude towards communication and give you some skills that you can use to be a better communicator. That way, you'll be able to be a functioning member of society for the rest of your life. Some of the things that we're going to go over: identifying components involved in the process of communication. What is it? It's a model that basically we try to take communication and make it into a science. And so we'll look at the different things that are involved in that. We'll look at communication strategies. We're going to look at communication skills and things that people have and things that they don't have and how to improve those things, how to give feedback, how to listen effectively, how to speak effectively, how to communicate into an audience, like in a speech format, but also how to be in a small group and have positive interactions that are successful, and then be able to, hopefully by the end of this course, be able to analyze yourself as a communicator so you can adjust the way that you're communicating based on the situation and the people. So those are kind of the things that we're going to be talking about in this class. It's going to be a lot of fun, I hope, for you. Behavior expectations. So these are new in our school, and you're going to see these a lot. This is the Lakeville South High School Community Behavior Matrix. So the things that we're asking you to do as a student, no matter where you are, we've developed some things that we want you to think about and how we want you to act as a student. Just like we teach you math class or English class, we want to teach you how to behave as a competent student. So we demonstrate Cougar Pride by being thoughtful, responsible, and safe. So here there are kind of key values of behaviors, what we want. Always be thoughtful, always be responsible, and always be safe. Inside the syllabus you can see, and I'm sure you'll get a handout of this eventually, there's things that we want in the classroom through distance learning and technology. Being as most of you who I'm talking to right now are full-time distance learners, I'm just going to zoom in quick on the distance learning piece so you can see exactly some of the things you're being asked to do. So thoughtful, are you communicating your needs with the teacher, right? Part of this is on you as a student. If I never get to see you, you have to over communicate with me so that we make sure that we're getting you everything you need. If there's WebEx online sessions that you need to be on, you have to be on them on time. Appropriately dressed. I'm not asking you to wear a suit, but I am asking you not to wear your pajamas. And then in a learning environment that's not distracting. So as best as you can do, get yourself in a situation or a place in your house that is free from distractions, and for you and for any classmates that you may be with online. Responsible. How are you growing as a student? Are you prepared with all the materials that you need? Are you turning in your own work? Are you doing things on time? Are you using the things that you were given, like WebEx, for school use only? Are you thinking before posting? Thinking is an acronym. Is it true, helpful, necessary, and kind? Or these are the type of things that you're being responsible for your words and your actions in the online community. And then safety, right? You're taking turns to comment. You're honoring everybody's voice and being considerate with all your comments, not only verbally, but also with your facial expressions online, and you're being supportive. We want to create an environment where everybody feels safe to express their thoughts wherever they are and not free from judgment, and we're all trying to learn it and improve ourselves as people. Okay, those are the things that we're asking you to do. You can go back and look. There's some things related to the technology in the iPad, things like staying on time or being on time, staying on task, using your iPad for school use, things like that. Additionally, there's things for me as the teacher, like being a positive relationship or building a positive relationship with all of you. If I'm not doing that, something's wrong. I'm not doing the things that I say that I'm going to do. And my goal, obviously, this last one is to help all of you be successful. So no matter where you come into the class from, wherever you land, wherever you're coming from, my goal is to help you be successful in this class. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. Materials and supply, or well, teacher expectations. The big thing that I just want to point out there, if there's something that you're not getting that you need to be successful, you need to let me know. You can let me know via email. I'm going to be trying to reach out to all of you through WebEx. So we'll be able to chat that way, and you'll get some one-on-one help, mostly on Wednesdays. So you need to make sure, as a full-time distance learner, Wednesdays are kind of my day just to communicate with you. So we're going to make sure we do that way. You need to have some availability as best as you can. Materials and supplies, you need your iPad, you need the internet. Everything else we will kind of work around. If you have notebooks and things like that, it's really going to be on you to take notes. You can do that in a notebook or digitally or whatever, but you have to be able to do them. You also need to be able to create things like speeches or whatever. So you got to have some school supplies ready for you if you're not just using the iPad for all that stuff. We've got good apps like Notability and some of Google Docs and all those things for you to take notes on. So you pretty much have all you need. But if internet is becoming an issue or access to technology, for sure let me know and we'll try to troubleshoot that. Schoology and Google Drive are the two primary things that we use in this class. You're going to need to use the Google suite. That means Google Docs, Google Sheets. Jamboard is something new that we're going to be trying out. Additionally, you'll have to be able to navigate your way through the Schoology app, which if it's new to you, that's okay, and we'll just work on it as we go. The classroom, we already talked about this, but the classroom will value every student and be a safe space to learn. So you need to very much be mindful of how your words and actions impact other people. That's kind of being just courteous as an academic institution. We want everybody to learn, and you can't learn unless you feel safe. So we want to make sure everybody has that mindset. And if you're not feeling safe and it's something I can do to help, let me know. Attendance, which is especially difficult for fully distanced students, it's going to be kind of on you to check every day. You're going to have work and assignments that you're going to have to turn in every day. So you have to just be very aware that you have work every day, and you have attendance that you have to check in, even though you're never coming to school. There'll be a protocol for you to fill out attendance, and just make sure you're on top of that. Assignments, how assignments work in this class is you can turn in anything up until the last day of the unit, which is usually a test or some sort of assessment, like a skit or a speech or something like that. So you can turn in any of your late work up to then. I don't take any points off until, I never take any points off, but after the unit test or whatever, I just don't take anything. So let's say you have 2 assignments, they're missing, you take the test, the day the test comes, you take the test, and then let's say that's a Friday, and then you come back to school or you get a hold of me on the following Monday and say, hey, I have these missing assignments. At that time, it's too late. The work is kind of moot at that point. I don't need it. You've had the opportunities before then to turn it in, and you just didn't. So I don't have a ton of hard deadlines, but those are the ones that I do. If you're turning in work after a deadline, after a test or something else that's an assessment of the unit, I'm not going to take it anymore. And that's, too late for you. But otherwise, you can turn in anything. I would advise you not to overdo that. I'm going to give you a schedule that you should turn in assignments in order for you to stack your learning on top of each other, because that's the best way to do it. But you are also teenagers and sometimes you forget. So you have time to turn things in, but it's not forever. Oh, next thing, academic integrity. This is tough, especially as a distance learner. You might have the inkling to kind of go outside of our learning space to try to take things that aren't yours and not necessarily be the person with the most integrity online. There's nothing wrong with going and adding to your learning by looking at other places, but if you represent somebody else's work or information as yours, that I have an issue with. I take a pretty hard line that if I figure out that any of you are copying each other's work or plagiarizing things from other sources online, even if you're not doing it on purpose, you're just not going to get credit for it. You have to kind of own your own learning and represent all the assignments that you get are ways for you to share your learning. I don't need to reread somebody else's learning. So it's more about you and showing your learning. We don't do a lot of speeches in interpersonal, but we do some. The speaking order is always very random. You have to be ready to go on your speech. We'll go over that more when it comes time to give speeches. Skip that. The grades in this class basically is like many classes. 45% of the work is first quarter, 45% of the work is second quarter, 10% is your final exam. Add that all together. That'll be your grade. I don't offer very much extra credit. The way to get all the points is to do the work and turn it in on time and do your best on all the assessments. That's the way you're going to get the grade that you want. I use Infinite Campus to enter grades, so you want to keep on that. I have been known to make an error or two in the past, so it's kind of on you. I'm going to do the best I can to have that as accurate as possible. But if for some reason you don't agree with the way it is, I do not have an ego about that. So feel free to just let me know, and we'll try to correct it. If there is an error, we'll kind of talk about it and go from there. Here's the grading scale. It's the same one that every teacher at the school uses. And there you go. That's my syllabus. There's a couple other things. This is not true. This is public speaking. Units of study, right? It's the things that we're going to go over. We're going to go over communication process, communication as purpose, perception, cultural communication. How does that change? How does the way that we communicate change depending on which culture we're in or where we're coming from? How do we listen? Verbal communication, the words that come out of your mouth. Nonverbal communications, the things that you communicate without using words. Understanding and building relationships. How do you take communication as a talent and a skill and use it to build relationships with other people? Small group communication, digital communication, and public speaking. So now we're taking the communication that we learn and putting it in different contexts and seeing how it changes based on the environment that we're in. So lots of things there. That's going to take a whole semester, and it's going to be a lot of fun. This class has been known to be very fun and a lot of enjoyment for a lot of kids if you put the work in. I have a hybrid thing in there, but that's not really for us, this distance learning time. So those are the overall units of study. Take a look. We're going to kind of go week by week through it all. We're going to do our best as distance learners. I'm here for you as a teacher, especially every Wednesday. Look for that to be the time where you and I communicate one-on-one. The rest of the time, you're doing your online work, and I'm teaching the kids that come to school. So the way that it works, just so you know, is Monday and Tuesday, some of the kids come. Thursday, Friday, around half of the kids come, and then the distance learners we get to connect with on Wednesday. You're learning all the same content as the kids that are in the building, but you're just at home. And so we'll find ways to kind of have you interact with some of those classmates maybe, but for sure interacting with me on a regular basis, getting our work done and communicating as much as we need to. So until I see you face-to-face on a WebEx call, take care. and hopefully you're understanding this. And if you don't have questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Right up here is my email, and I'm happy to answer any email questions that you have, and we'll get better at interpersonal communication. See you later.